Hey you guys, it's Rita. Welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, we're gonna have a first impressions in Huda Beauty's brand new foundation. This is her Faux Filter Luminous Matte. So I actually got this foundation honestly just out of a recommendation from a gentleman from Sephora. I went in store, I want to say almost 2 weeks ago, wanting to find a new full coverage foundation. So he pointed towards this direction and he actually was super kind to help me color match my skin tone. So I actually feel like this pairs perfectly with my skin. It's just like a perfect color match. This is going to come in a ton of different shades. So it comes in 40 different shades. So most likely you will find your perfect shade. I really love that whenever foundations have a big range of color matches. So this is going to retail for $40. Again, I got mine from Sephora. I'm pretty sure you can get it from the Huda Beauty website as well. If you can get color matched in store, that'll probably be perfect. Just in case you've never tried anything. I've never tried any of her foundations or in general anything from her brand. So this is going to be a first impressions in the foundation and in general with the brand. So this is what the actual bottle looks like. It's going to be a hard plastic, comes with the black matte cap and then a little bit of a black gradient on the bottom, just says Huda Beauty. I got mine in the shade Toasted Coconut number 240 Neutral. So I did get a neutral. It comes with a pump, which makes everything super easy. I really like when foundations come with a pump. So just the description of the foundation on the Sephora website, it says a cult favorite. So I'm pretty sure this one is her usual or her normal matte foundation that she already has. And then she came up with the luminous version of it. So it says a cult favorite fragrance-free foundation with full coverage, up to 24 hours of wear and luminous matte finish. That kind of threw me off. Luminous matte finish. I didn't know what that meant until I used it. So anyway, I think it's time for us to just go ahead and test it out. So if you want to see how this is going to be looking in action, then please keep on watching. Application, my skincare was already done. So the only thing that I added right now was going to be primer, and I did use the Smashbox, the primerizer. I wanted to go for something just hydrating instead of illuminating because I want to see how truly luminous is this foundation. It's just considered, or it's called the Luminous Matte, which seems kind of confusing if I'm being completely honest. But let's go ahead and try it. I'm going to pump a couple of pumps in the back of my hand. It seems very, very thick. So I'm going to show you real quick. It seems like a very thick foundation. So instead of just going directly with my brush, I'm actually going to apply it with my hand and just kind of like spread it out because the color match is really good. I actually got color matched in store at Sephora. I got this foundation because I literally just went in looking for a new foundation that was going to be full coverage. Now let's just go ahead and blend it. I'm going to be using the It Cosmetics brush. This one is just the Love is the Foundation. I'm going to switch to my beauty blender instead just because it is being a little bit harder to blend with the brush. I feel like it'll be a better application with the beauty blender. The color match seems pretty good. I'm going to apply a little bit extra and I'm going to use again my fingers. I'm going to apply this around my eyes. I want to see if I can actually cover the whiteness from vitiligo I have with this. Foundation is all applied and I really like the glow. You can actually see it on the camera as well. I can see it on the mirror. Just as I move my face, you can see that beautiful glow. It's kind of subtle, but it's definitely there. For a foundation to be this thick and this high coverage, I feel like they definitely did a good job with that illuminating part of it. I like it. I like the coverage. I really like that that luminous, but again, it's just a first impression, so I need to finish up my makeup, go on about with my day, and then I'll probably check back a little bit later and tell you how I'm feeling with this. You know, I want to see, because again, it's such a thick foundation that I'm scared it's going to accentuate maybe dry patches, or it's gonna like crack around, you know, my normal face lines. So I think for this video, I think I'm gonna leave it with no concealer. I'm not gonna add any concealer because actually I feel like it gave me a fairly good coverage around my eyes from the whiteness that I wouldn't mind maybe using concealer. I'm not gonna say this is gonna be for my everyday because I usually do like to go back and add more concealer just to make sure that that whiteness, you can actually see a little bit here, but it's barely there. That's just probably something that I see myself, but I think it's looking pretty good. I'm going to powder just around my eyes because I don't like foundation to be moving there, especially if I'm not gonna use concealer. I want it to be set. So I am going to finish up my makeup and then I'll be right back, and I'll probably gonna be checking in a couple of hours, probably around 12-ish. It's 8:20 right now, so probably around 12 I'll do a first and only check back, and then I'll give you my final thoughts. Before I go on and finish up my face, I wanted to show you a little bit more up and close how this foundation is looking. Look at that beautiful glow on my cheeks. I am loving this glow. So you can see how everything is looking very smooth. It's definitely a high coverage, a full coverage, but it's not so far accentuating my patches. And you saw how thick that foundation was. Usually foundations that are that thick are going to for sure accentuate my lines. Underneath my eyes, I do have some, fine lines. They are starting to, get a little bit separated in that area, but that's absolutely normal. I'm gonna go ahead and just smooth them with my finger and use powder. But I just wanted to show you before powders come in just how everything is looking. Hey guys, I'm back, and it's been almost 5 hours since I applied the foundation. It is almost 12:40 and I applied it, or 12:50. I applied it around 7:30 in the morning. I am really liking this foundation. Again, it's a first impressions. I will be using it more and leaving a comment down below on how I've been liking it. But so far it's really looking very beautiful, and I didn't explain to you before I left, but I didn't add any glow. I have no highlights, and I used a matte blush. So I did use a little bit of a more illuminating bronzer, but the blush itself was matte, and I added no highlight because I wanted you guys to see exactly how the face is still very glowy, and basically it's only from the foundation. I honestly feel like a 5-hour mark is a very good time for you to notice if the foundation broke down, if it's separated, if it looked weird. And I'm looking at the mirror, I'm looking at the camera, and everything looks really beautiful still. I was mentioning earlier that I did have some dry patches around my nose. Honestly, it's barely noticeable. If I really look and move my mouth, you can see just around the edge, just a tiny bit, but I mean, there's foundations that will literally make it look so bad, but this one is not really even accentuating it. The mascara that's a mascara thing, so I just have a little bit of fall off from the mascara right here, but that's it. Even the lines, usually I get, if foundation is gonna be very thick and it's gonna break out really bad on me, it'll show on my smile lines, mostly dry patches, and on my middle side, here in the middle where I have also some very fine lines, you can also see whenever the foundation is cracking up. There's nothing like that with this foundation. I am honestly, I am very impressed, because although this is a more illuminating or more luminous foundation, this is still a very matte, it's still a very high coverage foundation. So it was very thick, as you saw at the beginning. I could barely just blend it in, but honestly it looks very beautiful. I am not gonna lie, I am very impressed. For next application, I would definitely do a more glowy primer, just because that's what I love. I love glowy foundations, but for this, honestly, all of this glow that you're seeing is just a foundation. So not only am I impressed that it was so thick, but it still didn't break, it still didn't do any weird dry patchiness, it still didn't accentuate anything, but it's giving me that beautiful luminous finish, just like I was promised. So I really love this foundation. And another thing that I really love about it, I did not use any concealer. Again, I used concealer to cover whiteness on my skin from vitiligo. I do have 2 big patches, as you saw at the beginning of the video, around my eyes, and then down here a little bit more. This covered everything. Is it 100% perfect? No, it's not, but I've had a very hard time with foundations and concealers covering that, and this has been very impressive. I mean, it is nearly perfect. So overall, all in all, I am very, very pleased with this foundation. I know you can probably tell by my excitement in my voice. I am just very impressed. I've heard that Huda Beauty has that very matte foundation, and that it would have probably not been the best for someone like my skin type, which I'm more on the normal drier side, especially during the winter months, and right now it's freezing outside. But I am loving the color match. It's absolutely perfect to my skin tone. I am loving the luminous side of it. I am loving the full coverage that it's giving me, and it doesn't feel thick. It doesn't feel heavy. It was very thick whenever I applied it, but honestly, just use your beauty blender and it'll be perfect. All in all, this is a winner for me in every single aspect. Okay guys, so there you have it. I hope you enjoyed this video. I will definitely let you know in the comments down below, and I'll just pin down a comment or put a comment right here how I've been liking the foundation throughout the days. So I'll use it a couple more times and then I'll let you know how I like it. But again, I don't think my first impressions are going to be changed in any way. But anyway, hope you enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to subscribe before you leave, and if you did like this video and if you like to see more foundation first impression reviews, give it a big thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!